Yo, what's good, folks? Welcome back to my Charmander YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at some PSA graded cards. We'll be doing some CGC cards in another video, but this one will primarily be over the PSA graded cards. So we have some of my most valuable cards in my collection. Let's actually start with some of my favorite cards in my collection. Starting off with Mario Pikachu, PSA 10. This is just the half art. We actually have two of them. And then, I don't think we actually have a Luigi half art, but we do have a PSA 10 full art Luigi Pikachu. Everyone loves the Luigi and Mario Pikachu cards. This one's in a 9. And then we actually have two in a 9. Two Mario Pikachus, and we have one in a 10. Definitely a very iconic card. One of the few crossovers where Nintendo did Mario and Pokemon crossover. That's pretty cool. I like the little mustaches. Happy to have these in my collection. We're going to be taking a look at the ponchos. We have the full set of the ponchos, starting with Skull Pikachu. We haven't shown these off in a while, so we brought them out of storage to take a look at them. We have Charizard Y, PSA 10. Then we have Rayquaza. The shine on this is so nice. The camera doesn't quite do it justice. Then we have a few Charizard X's coming up. We have two Charizards and a PSA 10. Charizard X. Then we have Rayquaza, the shiny Rayquaza. Love these Pikachu ponchos. I think these are definitely underrated when they first came out. I remember them being fairly expensive when they first came out, and people could really only afford a few of them. And back then, what was a couple $100s is now thousands, especially in a PSA 10. We have the Magikarp and the Gyarados. Oh, here we go. We actually have a Gyarados in a 9, and the Gyarados and Magikarp Pikachu in a 10. So happy to have the full set. And then we're gonna take a look at some of the Scream Munch promos here. These are in white. You can use Graded Guard promo code Charmander, all in capitals, if you like these graded guards. They come in PSA, CGC, BGS. Promo code Charmander, all in capitals, to get a discount. I like to put graded guards on a lot of my favorite slabs because aesthetically it makes it pop. So here we have an Eevee from 2018, and I don't know if you can see, but there's a Psyduck here in the back. So we have two Eevees in a 10. Here is the Psyduck, and now you have Gengar and Haunter here. This one has a 9. There's another Psyduck. Look at that. He is just in sheer panic. Terrified. We have the Rowlet, which I think is one of the cheaper ones. Look at that. What a beautiful artwork. I want to say a Mimikyu is there in the background. Looks like we have two of these. Oh my gosh, this Pikachu. I kind of regret selling one of my Pikachus for only $600 in a PSA 10. It regraded in a 10, and it got that's worth like $2,000-3,000, I believe. Look at that Pikachu. Oh my gosh, very nice. Then we have Eevee. Here's the Mimikyu. Some of these were not easy to get in a 10. You could do the submission and it could come back a 9. And you could resubmit it and it could come back a 9. So to get the full set in a 10 is really nice. And to complete these sets, like the ponchos, the Pikachus, was much easier to do back in the day when they came out, right? If you're to buy them now, they are just out of reach. They are just way too expensive. Okay, we do have some other cards I want to show here. The Festa Pikachu in a PSA 10. We have another Festa Pikachu in a PSA 10. Another one. We have 3 Festa Pikachus. Look at that. Semi-prized possessions. 20th anniversary. You have Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, the Gen 1 starters, where it all began, with a little chubby Pikachu in the middle. One of the main questions that I get on my YouTube channel is what sleeves I use to cover the graded guard over the slab. I use the Beckett shield. Comes with 100. Okay, we can do a little example of this. For just a regular slab, you can get the perfect fit. Those are easy to find, but there are different BGS ones, and this one fits very tightly, but it fits. Sometimes if you do it wrong, it might actually break the bag, and that's okay. But if you want to protect it from like fingerprints, dust, I mean the slab is already protected, but especially if you're doing a lot of vending and selling and you want to put price tags and things on it, people can pick it up. These resealable Beckett shield ones are the way to go. Okay, so I guess after that was kind of the main thing I wanted to showcase in this video, but I figure we'll just go through some more PSA ones, and then we'll do a whole CGC video. We do have Lorcana cards that we collect as well, if you're interested in seeing Lorcana cards and other Pokemon in CGC pristine 10s. But today we'll just focus on PSA. Here's Roaring Moon EX. Underrated card in my opinion. This card is beautiful. I guess you consider this alternate art. It's a special illustration, but man, this Salamence just looks fierce. Okay, we do have Vaporeon. This is the Japanese version of this one, the English one. The Japanese, if you don't know, is way more expensive. More than, I want to say 10 times more expensive, because it was hard to get the Japanese the way that they released it. Okay, let's see. I think this might be a little bit out of order, but here. We'll show off this Nidoking here. Crystal Nidoking from the E-Reader E-Series era 2002, first edition Japanese, Wind from the Sea. Came back in a Gem Mint 10. Look at that, hollow. This Nidoking, if you look very closely, you can actually see the hollow work is just, it's different. It's just different. We have a Japanese Espeon on the house. We like these VMAX Espeons. And if you look very closely, okay, you can actually see the hollow job. It really does shine here. It really does stand out. Let's take a look at an English one. I think we have 2 English ones here. I think the Japanese looks better. We have a Vaporeon EX. We got in a trade. Old school EX Vaporeon. Check out this Umbreon, guys. This is a big one. Look at that swirl right there. CGC Pristine 10. I guess I lied. We are looking at some CGC cards. This one is definitely one of my favorite cards. Umbreon has kind of gained a lot of popularity recently, and I couldn't decide between the English and the Japanese, and I like the Pristine 10 on this, you know, black and yellow. It looks good together. But in terms of art aesthetic and the quality, the Japanese, like, I like the darker black here compared to the English counterpart. It's a little more musky gray. But the hollow on both of these, again, it's kind of hard to tell from the camera. This one has a little swirl too right there. But gorgeous. Absolutely love this Umbreon. In the Moonlight. This is from 2003, 2002, 2003. And everyone is more familiar with Umbreon to the Moon from Evolving Skies. I mean, I love this one too. I like that green background. He's like jumping towards the moon. There, I want to say it's like over 12,000 in population in a PSA 10. Somewhere around there as of right now. August 2024. But this Umbreon, it just hits different. It's just a little more vintage vibe going on. Then if you're gonna have Umbreons, you gotta have Espeon to go with it. PSA 10, Town on No Map, first edition Japanese. Gorgeous hollow. Looks really nice with the other Umbreons. I don't know if I can showcase this off well. Oh, we have another Umbreon. This is actually one of the first Umbreons from 2000. Japanese Neo 2. Let's see, it went Genesis, Discovery, Revelation, Destiny. But this one might have hollows in the body as well. It might be a hollow bleed. Yeah, this is definitely a hollow bleed in the body. A little hard to tell from the camera, but there are hollows in his body. I like the blueness of the moon compared to like the white moon. This one just, the aura really makes it look nice. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Umbreon? The WotC, Japanese, English, e-reader, the newest modern Umbreon to the moon. We got a lot to choose from. And then we got ourselves the Black Label Espeon on the moon, Espeon on the house, Sleeping Espeon, BGS 10. To get a BGS 10, you need a 10 on the centering, the edges, the corners, and the surface. And usually Beckett is known for being the strictest on grading, and we'll give it a 9.5, and it won't qualify for the Black Label. Very, very, very hard to get a BGS 10 Black Label. You can still get 10s and not get the Black Label if like one is a 9.5. So Black Label is just the cream of the crop. That is the highest you can get in the pyramid of grading. And so we have Espeon and the Umbreon VMAX from Evolving Skies in a Black Label. Look at that, Umbreon and Espeon. In terms of artwork, this is where it's at in the past 10 years. This is probably the chase, the modern Charizard, if you will. So to have it in a BGS 10, it's very meaningful, very sentimental, very iconic part of Pokemon history. Okay, we do have some more cards to look at. We'll just run through some of these Eeveelutions that we have. This is from the Premium Collection. We have two Jolteons in a 9. We have a Vaporeon. But why don't I show you the PSA 10 Vaporeon. We have the Vaporeon VMAX, PSA 10, Flareon VMAX, PSA 10. Look at all the Pokemon in the background. I can spend a lot of time just looking at these cards. And of course, we have the Jolteon in the Thunderstorm 2021, which was only a few years ago. But I think people start to realize this artwork is something else. The artist did a phenomenal job on all three of these. Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon, the first three Eeveelutions. And then, as you guys know, later on, was it Diamond Pearl? When did we get Glaceon and Leafeon? I know we had Umbreon and Espeon first. But look, the little Pikachu here, Pikablu, Azumarill. This one actually doesn't... I wish they threw in a little bit more little Pokemon in it. But I like the pink outline on the VMAX version of these. Kind of a call to Sword and Shield. Dynamax, Gigantamax, right? Then we have Sylveon in a 10. And you can see little Eevees and little Pokemon sliding on the ribbons. And very fun artwork. And people actually play the TCG, and you can actually evolve your Pokemon to get the VMAX version. Then we have Espeon, which we've seen earlier. English, Umbreon, and Espeon VMAX to complete the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Eeveelutions. Umbreon, Espeon, Sylveon, Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, Glaceon, and Leafeon. So happy to complete that set. We'll take a look at some extra PSA cards. We ran out of graded cards, but here is an old school Blastoise, Dark Blastoise. I hear that they're doing a Team Rocket set sometime by the end of this year, so that'll be cool to have Dark Pokemon come back. We have Piplup with that swirly swirl here. Beautiful Piplup. We have Arcanine EX. What an amazing artwork. Look at that. This is from 2005. We're going to need to get a red graded guard for this one. We have a Shining Steelix we picked up, and I know the back was super rough. I knew it was going to get a bad grade. This one is in a 6, but I still dig a Shining Steelix when I see one. Steel Pokemon was something of Gen 2, Gold and Silver. Here is a Raikou from Neo Revelation in a 9. These cards are from 2000, folks. That's 24 years, almost 25 years ago. Here we have Charmander looking through the window, trying to eat that Pidgey. Love this artwork. We have a Lorcana card. If you don't know, this is a promo card, Rapunzel. I'm really into Lorcana right now, so really collecting a lot of the enchanted cards. Here we have Charizard, classic set. Charizard, a very iconic card. It's a reprint of the most iconic Charizard first edition card. So I really don't think you can have too many of these. I think the more of these you can have in a 10, the better. This will hold for 5, 10, 20 years. This card, you know, there has been a lot of reprints of the Charizard, and I'm sure they'll make more. Oh, look at that gold graded card. That looks nice. I might have to pick up some more of those to go with this card. But the red looks really good, especially with the Charizard. Luckily, these came back in a 10. I know the classic set, sometimes there would be issues where the Charizard would be damaged on the back, on the corners. And then we have the Stormfront Charizard signed by Mitsuhiro Arita. He said 2 Charmander and drew this Charizard back earlier in this year. So that's a very meaningful card right here for me, to meet the artist. And let's see, do I really want to, we're gonna do a CGC video, so make sure you keep an eye out for that, because between PSA and CGC, when I hit this pristine 10, this black and gold, I am just wowed. I am just way more excited. I like the clear slab compared to PSA. It's preference. I know people want uniformity and they want all their collection to be only PSA, but I don't mind having both. I think the pristine 10 actually holds higher value than the PSA 10. My only issue with CGC is I'm not a big fan of their black and white ones. I definitely would prefer to hit the pristine 10. If I had a choice, we might as well go with the black and gold pristine 10. So if it's between PSA and CGC, we go with PSA 10 if it's gonna look like that. You can still keep it like this, but I definitely prefer PSA 10 and then the pristine 10. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my CGC video coming out soon. We'll be going through some Arcana cards and as well as some Pokemon cards in here. I think we have some Chinese ones and some other Japanese ones. But that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys drop a like, drop a comment. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. You can always find me on Instagram under Charmander. We sell on eBay. Not so much Whatnot anymore. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok. And thanks for watching, folks. Catch you guys next time.